Hello everyone, today we are going to learn how to internationalize a website with Lingojs. For this demo, I'll be using a Next.js template, but keep in mind, you could integrate it just as easily with React, HTML, or pretty much any other technology. It's actually very simple. In most cases, you only need to add a single line inside the head of your HTML page. And the best part is everything is well documented on their official docs. So let's get started. Here we are on the Lingojs landing page, and let me give you a quick overview of what this product is about. Lingojs is a plug-and-play SaaS for website localization. It allows you to manage multiple projects, translate your content automatically with contextual AI translations, and collaborate with your team all in one place. So let's scroll down a little so you can see how they present their solution. Okay, and the first step to create your account is to just click the Get Started button right here. On the registration page, you have two authentication methods, the classic email plus password or the much faster option with Google login. I personally recommend the Google option since it automatically verifies your email. Once we're signed in, we can start setting up our workspace. Inside Lingojs, everything works around the concept of organizations. An organization is basically your workspace. Each organization can have multiple members, and the owner of the organization is the one responsible for inviting team members and managing the subscription. The cool thing is a single user can belong to multiple organizations and collaborate on different projects at the same time. So let's go ahead and create our first organization. Okay, we're going to type this in here. Now that we have an organization, let's create our first project. A project in Lingojs represents your website or app. Here we need to give the project a name, choose our source language, which for us it'll be English. Select the target language we want to translate to. I'm going to do French and Spanish. And optionally add a short project description. That description can really help AI provide more accurate translations since it adds extra context. By the way, if you ever want to create additional projects later, you can easily do it from the organization page by clicking the plus button. Now, I don't have a plus button next to the project, and that's simply because I'm using the free version. But when you upgrade, you will see that. Okay, you can also switch between projects and organizations in the sidebar at any time. Once the project is created, we need to connect it to our website. That's super easy. On the onboarding page, you will find ready-to-use code snippets from most common technologies, HTML, React, Next.js, and even WordPress. If you are using WordPress, by the way, there's an official plugin available, but we'll cover that in another tutorial. For this demo, let's take the Next.js snippet. As you can see, it imports the Lingojs script and initializes it with some default parameters. You can customize these later. For example, if you don't want to display the language switcher widget and prefer to build your own manual switcher, you can disable it here. In our case, we'll keep it simple and use the defaults. Now let's open VS Code and paste the snippet into our main layout file at the root of the project so it runs across every page. Perfect. Our project is now connected to Lingojs. So let's run the site and see if the widget appears. And there it is. The language switcher widget shows up on the page. That means our integration is working and Lingojs has probably already started detecting the text on the page. So important note, Lingojs can only detect text from pages that you've actually rendered. So if you've never opened your About page, for example, those texts won't be detected yet. Once texts are detected, you'll find them in the pending section of the dashboard. From there, you can publish a text so that it gets translated, or block it if you don't want it translated or used in the interface. When you publish a text, the AI will automatically translate it into your targeted languages. You can review and edit translations in the Publish section. Sometimes you may need to refresh the page if the translations are still processing. And here's where you can edit a translation if you prefer to use another sentence or if you already have a good translation in mind. And that's it. Once the translations are ready, you can refresh the site and instantly see the localized versions. Users can switch languages at any time through the widget, just like this. So we're going to go from Spanish to French and then back to English. Awesome. We just seen how to internationalize a website in minutes with Lingojs. Thank you so much for following along with this tutorial, and your website is now connected to the whole world.